when I came into office, one thing I realized pretty quickly is that the state economic development effort and the county economic development effort is usually focused on one thing, and that is how do we get big companies from outside the area to move to this area. Rishi, if you think from it, like what would it take for you to go move to North Carolina, right? What would it take for employees? Who would you lose? Things like that. Like, you're probably not going to do it. Well, if I wrote you a big check, right? If I said, okay, here's a couple $1 million, and you said, oh, okay, you know, maybe I'll do it. I had a professor in law school who said he would always say, oh, you know, that's a beautiful blouse. How much does it cost? And it's like, oh, it's not for sale. Well, I'll give you $100,000 for that blouse. It's like, here you go, right? So everything's for sale. So it's like you don't have interest in moving. And the Kauffman Foundation did a study of these because every state, as you know, around the country and many counties and cities are doing this. They're paying for these jobs. But if you think about it, like maybe we'll pay, you know, $100 million to steal, or we don't pay that much. We'll pay $20 million to steal 10,000 jobs from Pennsylvania. And they'll pay $20 million to steal 10,000 jobs from us. And what happened? We lost 10,000 jobs and gained 10,000 jobs. So we're the same, and Pennsylvania's the same, but the taxpayers are out $20 million, Delaware taxpayers and Pennsylvania taxpayers. And the job growth anyway in this country is not in the big companies. The real job growth is in extreme scale solutions. It's in companies like this, guys who have ideas, who build those ideas, many of which, like over 95% of which, never ever get to the point you're at today. But that's what we need here. And it's I was at, I don't know if you know the Horn Program for Entrepreneurship at University of Delaware, but Charlie Horn was speaking there about 6 months ago. I heard him speak, and he said, what is an entrepreneur? What is an innovator? And usually you say, okay, now what is like, Jeff Bezos was an entrepreneur because he figured out how to sell books online, right? Zuckerberg was an entrepreneur because he figured out how to connect people using Facebook to the social network. He said what an entrepreneur is an entrepreneur is someone who develops solutions that scale. So I thought it was perfect that I'm here. You develop solutions that scale, I guess in an extreme way, right? So that was very interesting that when I said, oh, extreme scale solutions, talk about entrepreneurship. But one thing we can do long term to fix this gap is to get more of our people employed in higher quality jobs. And the way it happens is not through paying Pennsylvania companies or North Carolina companies or California companies to come here, but it's about finding guys like Rishi and people like you
paying us to stay here.
Yeah, committing to developing solutions that scale. And so I appreciate what you do every day. It's not emphasized enough, and particularly the industry you're in. I mean, the future is so bright, right? It's just growing bigger and bigger and bigger. And if I think what you guys must be thinking, the fear is not that the industry will dry up. It's that how are we ever going to tackle this huge, constantly changing industry long into the future? But it's not without the realm possibility that a company like this can double, triple, quadruple in ways that companies we bring from outside the county or the state cannot do. So thank you so much for what you do. You have our complete support at the county. I want to issue, as I say, there's pretty much only one thing I can do without the permission of county council and my mother, and that is issue proclamations. So be it hereby known to all that I, Matthew Meyer, Newcastle County Executive, recognize February 22nd, 2018 as Extreme Scale Solutions Day in Newcastle County. Anyway, and it goes on to explain a little bit about the company.